says I'm on, but I can't see anything. It says connection's offline, even though it says live. That makes no damn sense. Public. On. Save. It says upcoming. Why is it saying upcoming? All right. I think I'm on now. Think I'm on. There we go. Finally. That took a hot minute. That's doing some really funky stuff. I don't understand. I'm here. I am here. There we go. I know there were some folks who were up all night, but we're back on the channel. Daisy, hope you were able to come back on here. So anyway, hey, good morning, everybody. We got our landfalling hurricane here. Here's our big imagery here. Very tense overcast on this one. Again, we've got a lot of stuff going on here. Got the chasers out here in what is sort of the eye wall. Kind of checking everything out. Go back over to this. Okay. So we'll see how this works out. I mean, if anybody's up this morning to watch this, well, we'll give it a go here for about an hour or so, see how it works out. If nobody comes on, I'll shut it back down. So we got our pretty intense. Let's look at the velocity in here. Let's look at the high-res velocity. We'll see what the winds are doing out here. And they are pretty heavy. Look at this, 72, 82 mile per hour winds, 89. This is radar estimate here, 85. That's 93, 97. 105, 100. Look, these are what the radar is picking up. Now, of course, these are off the ground. Some very strong winds out here. And you got the stuff out off sea right from the radar. 93, 95, 90, 100 mile per hour winds. This is what the radar is picking up here. Of course, that's probably up in the air where the beam is off a little bit. But, yeah, you're getting some pretty good winds here coming in to make landfall right now on the Texas Gulf Coast. It is very nasty out there. Get this thing looping again here. Yeah, the center circulate came out around about 5 o'clock, so about what we were expecting. Maybe maybe an hour quicker than what I thought. It may have picked up speed a little bit. Just a couple mile an hour difference can make all the difference in the world here. Victoria's looking good. Everything down the coast is looking good. But yeah, things down here are going downhill real quick up in the Houston area. Look at these. Let's check these winds up near the Houston area. 30, 40 mile per hour. Not bad in Houston right now. But, boy, they got some pretty heavy winds down here south. Woo-wee. There's some heavy stuff. 90, 101, 90, 100 gusts. Woo. It is nasty. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Turn that off. Let's turn these off here. So I'll just make it back on and get this thing going. Ooh, turn that off real quick. Get this going. I'm not sure if these are working. Well, at least one of these were in all night, and it was this one. So let's see if this thing actually is charged up. It's been there for a while. This is my little microphone here. And we'll check things out over here at the wall. Let's see, going back over to here. All right. So you've got, unfortunately my data's not coming up, but I can see you over here, guys. So here's our center of circulation here, making our landfall. Still got part of the eye here. What's, I guess, sort of the eye here over the water. There's our storm chasers in here. As this thing's slowly coming up toward the north, there's the center as of the 5 o'clock advisory. That's where the center was put there. So we did get 80 mile per hour winds. About what we were thinking. I was thinking 85 on the top end, but the radar in here is picking up some very strong winds from El Campo over to west of Columbia, Lake Jackson, Freeport. We're getting wind gusts showing up on the Doppler radar close to 100 miles per hour. Not bad over in Houston just now. and some heavy rains over here toward Texas and Galveston. But all this is moving on in. This is also where our tornado watches are up in this area as well as the center of circulation moves northward. Now they're making landfall. This is the worst of the storm surge here from Galveston down to here. So down to Freeport. This is the worst of the storm surge we're seeing along the coast right now as this continues to move off to the north. But then we've got the tornado watches we're going to deal with here for today. And the heavy rain, that's going to be the big thing, man. I'm talking about some very, very bad rainy conditions and flooding conditions are going to be a problem up this way for now. Absolutely going to be a problem. Hey, my Windows wants to restart now. You're not doing that. Just a good snooze. Not doing an update right now. What are you, crazy? Absolutely nuts. So anybody wants to quote and put in the chat? The chat is up. Looking pretty. And absolutely can do that. You can add something in there if you'd like to. I'm going to go and turn that on. I don't think it's going to do anything, but we'll have it turned on. Just turned that on. I didn't have it on yesterday. But my control panel is not showing everything. I'm not sure why. Let's see here. Select account. I got that one. And see if it's going to give my data or not. But it's not going to. So it has been a problem. But that's okay. That's good. We're going to get this thing looping again. But check out this. Check out these winds here. This is probably the big here. I mean, these winds in here. Zoom a little closer. Anywhere in that yellow right there, anywhere in here. This is the velocity mode here. El Campo, Lane City, Wharton, Needville, Pleak, Kendleton. All this in here. West Columbia. This is the worst of the winds up in here. Showing up on the Doppler radar. Some of the areas in here were showing close to 100-mile-per-hour winds. This continues to move off toward the north. Just a very, very nasty situation there. Going to have some widespread power outages, that's for sure. That is going to be a problem, folks. We had a good day yesterday. We had added about 250 new subscribers to the channel. That was very nice. Yeah, I noticed my mic isn't working again. Sorry. I'm just gonna shout from the microphone. These things here are not charging, and I'm not sure why they're shutting off. I keep turning them on. It says right, but they keep shutting down. Not sure what the deal is with these, but that's okay. We'll keep watching. See, it's just timing out. It's turning red on me. It acts like the battery is just not charging for some reason. But we'll replace these. We'll get them replaced in time, and we go forward. So again, going to see severe weather in here. We're going to see tornado watches in here, and also up in Arkansas. So that's what we'll do here on that. That was probably the only bad thing about this whole thing is the fact that these what's supposed to be charging these chargers do not charge very well. So for right now, I'll just keep the microphone on from the desk, and we'll go from there watching the stuff. Thanks, Deborah. Appreciate you letting me know what was going on with my audio. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Let's go back over to Radar Omega here. Going back over here as we continued our watch here of this landfalling hurricane. Again, got a lot of chasers out here. They're all got up early in the morning. See some of these winds. Hard to see much, obviously, because it's dark outside. And we'll take a look at some of these guys. He's up in the soup. Everybody's kind of off the side of the roads here. I'm really surprised nobody went down. You see the power still on out here, which is good. That's a good thing to see. And thanks for that new subscriber. Thank you for tuning in here this morning and watching the coverage here. Gotta get you a wave, man. I noticed it didn't do that, but we're gonna do this real quick, like Streamlabs. Yeah, I like to acknowledge everybody comes on the channel. I do appreciate it. I know it's early for you guys. It's definitely tough when you're dealing with this. We're gonna there we go. Appreciate you guys coming on board and watching the coverage. It was boy, were we active last night, man. But it's good to see the power on at this location, and we'll see how bad of a I'm really concerned about Houston. You know, Houston's power grid took a beating there. Brad's down on the beach there. When the sun comes up, we'll see how bad the surf is looking down there. And again, you can find all these storm chasers. Most of them are streaming live out on YouTube. You can check out their coverage pretty much anywhere. His wind's there. He's near the center of circulation, so wind's not too bad from where he's at right now. So, but again, these heavy winds are really starting to come in towards Sugar Land, Houston, Bel Air. This whole band out here is very, very intense. Again, we'll go over to velocity mode here. Check out some of these winds. Check out some of these winds, guys. 71, 78, 85, 87. Now, this is where the beam is picking up off the ground, but we're pretty close to the radar. Here's the radar over here. So we're not going too far off the ground. Here's the beam. It's shooting out this way, and you can see those winds, man. We're talking hurricane force winds and gusts all up in here. 89, 93. I mean, it's very, very heavy winds. This is what was showing up on the model data last night when this was coming on in. Just some very, very heavy rains and wind gusts all up in that area, man. Just nasty. But the center circulation is still coming on shore. Looks like still part of it still over. Again, you see what I'm talking about, this thing, how wide. This is finally closed off completely. It was not showing off that well yesterday, but that's a pretty wide center of circulation there. So, I mean, if I was going to cut across this thing, it is 35 miles across. So, started closing off. If this thing had another day over water, boy, we'd be talking about a much worse situation here across East Texas. It would be a lot worse than what we're going to get today. Going to see some heavy wind. Going to see some heavy rains. Probably have some businesses obviously closed as this is going by. Just going to be an unfortunate thing here for today as this thing's coming on through. Hey, if you're coming on through right now, I know we only got a handful of y'all watching right now. If you could please give me a thumbs up if you can, and leave a comment. Tell me where you're watching from. I'd like to say good morning to you. Acknowledge it. And if you're already a subscriber, you already know what to do. Just go ahead and please leave something down below and give a thumbs up. We got 5 likes this morning. Not bad. Like I said, we had I think yesterday we added 250 subscribers. We had it was like 6,300 views. It was all record-breaking stuff for us yesterday as we were watching this storm getting closer and closer. Big thing I was watching for was to see if this thing was not going to go through a really big rapid intensification. It didn't. It did get up to 80 which is significant, but not as bad as it could have been, because it had some very warm waters here. The water temperatures in Northern Gulf were just off the chart warm. I mean, very warm. Let me clear this thing out for you real quick. They were pretty bad there. And thank you for that new subscriber. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Yeah, everybody who adds to the channel, it's a good thing. You add a new subscriber, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. That's the big thing. I don't have the chops like some of the other guys out there, but we're growing. And like I said, we had a really successful. A little say hello to my new subscriber there. Thank you very much. Appreciate you checking out this morning. I know it's early. Probably lying. If you're like me, you're probably lying in bed and watching this, kind of checking what's going on with the storm, and we'll check out. Hey, thank you for the thumbs up. Hey, Tillery from Beaumont. Welcome, Tillery. Nice to see you there. Tillery, hello. Good to see you there. And Stephanie Stevens, good morning. From Pasadena, good morning. Good to see you this morning. How y'all doing? I appreciate you checking out the coverage, and thank you for that new subscriber. Again, you get another subscriber, man. I love it. I do love it. Got to play the game. That's the game I'm still learning to play. Still learning to play the game with YouTube. Because YouTube, if you don't get those likes, if you don't get the likes, subscribes, and the chat stuff going when you're doing these live broadcasts, and we added another one. Good, you guys are awesome this morning. It helps with the algorithm, really does. Truly does. It means we get more people in here. Hey, Beautiful Odyssey, how long have you been on YouTube? I have been on YouTube for about since October 1st. Been slowly building the channel over time. Today was the first use of my weather wall, although we did have one technical issue. The microphone that I bought for it, the wireless one, won't hold a charge. And I'm not sure if it's the station yet. I'm going to have to get a plug wall mount issue for not just plugging in USB. Sometimes that, but that was the only technical issue we had. But I do love using my wall. It's a pretty neat thing. Unfortunately, the microphone is here at the desk. It still can pick me up over there, but that's not too bad. Let me go back over here to Radar Omega here. I'd like to go back and show off that weather wall real quick. It's been a really nice thing to have. And let me get my Radar Omega back up here again. We'll zoom in on, but look at all the storm chasers on the right side. You can see them pretty well there. All the chasers here. All the chasers are sitting right up here. So here's one here. Here's one there. There's another one. There's another one. Another one. Again, anything on the right side of the storm, this is where the heaviest winds will be. These guys, the center of circulation is going to go right over them. So the winds are going to come almost down to calm. This is not really a true quote-unquote eye wall per se. It's kind of ragged. See how ragged it is in there? You can see it kind of circulating right in here. It looks like the center of circulation is probably right in here. I know it's kind of cleared off around it, but you can't see this kind of whopping around in here. So I would say probably the center of circulation is probably right about there. It's moved from there to there. Not too bad of a time. They're probably about an hour. It's taking about an hour to get from there to there. So looks like what's left of maybe the eye wall is still hanging back a little bit over water. This is continuing to move off toward the north there. So it's getting there. It's getting there slowly but surely. Yeah, good journey. Thank you there. Beautifully obvious. It's a long journey. I'm telling you, I've learned a lot here on this. And Tillery, hello. Good to see you this morning too. Hello. Good morning. It's been a real journey. I tell you. I won't tell you. I tell folks that back in April, before I figured out how to do this whole algorithm game, I was pretty close to wanting to hang it up. I really did. I was going to say, you know what? Nobody's watching. Nobody gives a darn. But it's okay. It's all good. People come and people good. Yesterday, I think we were averaging about 5 minutes per viewer. Right now, it's like a minute. So we'll see how long we stay up on top of this. I'll stay on it for a little while here and kind of watch it. So again, if you're new to the channel, I appreciate you watching the coverage here this morning as the storm is making landfall as we speak. Not completely completely off the water. It's close enough here. Between 5 and 6 o'clock is where we were thinking we were going to get landfall. Thank you for that new subscriber. I appreciate you coming on the channel. Every little bit helps. It helps me out personally. It helps the channel out for future growth. And the big thing is when you're if you are subscribed this morning, by the way, you're automatically enrolled to win a free No Weather Radio. I'm going to give those away when we get to 5,000. We're not going to do that today, but here pretty soon, especially if we continue to have successful broadcasts like we had today. And also look out for those YouTube shorts. I put out short updates. They're about a minute long for updates when we later in the hurricane season. You'll have those really quick, bada bing, bada boom. You get your update really quick. I've learned that those work pretty good for me. So if you're watching now, please put something in the chat. I'd like to acknowledge you, say good morning to you there. To let us know where you're from. Let us know where you're watching from here for this morning. I know we got a lot of stuff going on right now, so just let me know where you're watching from. It is definitely check out the latest iRead imagery here. Let me see here. Make sure this is updating. Let's see if this updates. This should update. Boom. There's our storm right there. Probably need to move that a little bit. Let me move that. It's a little bit off. Let's get this thing. There we go. Oh, not that one. Let's see this. No, not that one. Hold on one second. I want to update the browser here. There we go. Bring this down a little bit more. There we go. Boom. There we go. So it's got to update the view there. But look at the explosion. This thing, as the models were indicating, it really blew up. You can see the thunderstorm just blew up on this thing right when it was making landfall. Got very fortunate there, folks. If this had done this a little bit sooner, we may have been looking at a major hurricane because it had such a tight wind profile. If it had done this 12 hours earlier, we would be looking at a much stronger hurricane, possibly up to a Cat 2, Cat 3. So yesterday I was doing something stupid because I was looking at knots instead of miles. I was like, holy crap, what is this? And that was a mistake on my part. It was just, I think I was getting a little tired at the time when we were watching this yesterday. So that's our infrared imagery right there. Again, good morning. My name is Greg, by the way. If you're just checking out the channel for the first time, we were on for about 7 hours yesterday watching the coverage and good stuff. If you could please give me a thumbs up if you can. We've had 12 likes this morning. That's not bad for an early start. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Just hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you're alerted on not only this broadcast, but really for the future. Because I'm telling you, folks, it is going to be a wild and crazy hurricane season. We're talking, this one was an historic storm, earliest Cat 4 out in the Atlantic, earliest Cat 5 on record by 2.5 weeks in the Caribbean. It is just going to be really a very, very busy hurricane season. And I'll try to give you guys the best service I can. If you have any questions, you got anything you want to know about, please put it down in the chat. I'd like to go ahead and give you guys what you need as far as your questions and stuff. So, yeah, it's been a pretty busy chat for this morning. A lot of people are getting up early to kind of check this out. So, and just double checking my audio there. I really wish my wireless ones were working. That was really irritating. Let's go back over to the velocity mode again. We'll check out some of these winds once again in this area. I'll turn on my little identifier here and just again 96 mile per hour winds right there, 80. Anywhere in this yellow, you're looking at some 91 mile per hour winds. You're looking at some pretty good power. 102, that's the highest one I've seen. Highest probably wind gusts here. 102, 91, 87. Where the guys are down here, the winds are really dropped off. 28, 15, 11. So 2 miles per hour. They're basically down where the center of circulation is right now. So these guys here are all down in the center. Look at the down trees. Look at the trees down the lines. Yeah, see the down trees. See, if you're going to see a lot more of that once the sun comes up. Probably got widespread power outages. Seeing some of these trees down on the side of the road. This is Vince out there. Again, you can find him out on YouTube. You can always see some of these power lines are kind of bent down. So we got some power outages. We're probably seeing that right there. I'm just checking all these guys. There's Corey. He's got power. He's in a Walmart parking lot. Still looks pretty good. He's near the center, so the winds have really kind of dialed down there. Connor, he's still seeing a little more heavier activity there. There's Brad, there's Aaron. So you can kind of see where everybody's at. Let's see, is he broadcasting? That's down on the beach. There's Brad, he's getting inbounded. He's on the right side of that storm. Still got the power on where he's at. That's good to see. Still got some power there. Actually seeing some pretty good stuff as this thing's making a landfall right now. Yeah, almost looks like what's left of the circulation center still got a little piece over the water here, just a little bit. See, just a little bit getting over there. Almost totally inland, getting very close. Appreciate you guys walking this morning. Already up to 100 views so far this morning. Not bad for something we just started. I was a little slow getting on because my YouTube was giving me fits again. I got to figure out why it keeps doing that. It's real aggravating when you want to do a live broadcast and stuff to have that going on. If you guys are watching right now, Again, I appreciate you watching. We're averaging about 1:26 right now on the old viewership thing. So before you leave, before you check off and go somewhere else, and you kind of surf, that's what I do. I surf. I got my remote. I kind of surf around for that. I'm on my phone. I surf around on that too. So just give me a thumbs up before you guys leave. I appreciate it. And if you're already a subscriber, again, thank you for coming on board. I do appreciate that. It helps with the algorithm and stuff. We'll see how this thing works out here for this morning. We added about 4 or 5 more subscribers to the channel, which is always a good thing. And you can go down and add a new subscriber. It's a good thing. All right, let's see here. Now, the latest spaghetti. Let's see if this thing. I think this thing's updated. Let me see here. I'll double check this. See if this is updated here. Yeah, that was the last update here while I was offshore. So you can see here, I know folks were asking if this was going to be like a Hurricane Harvey situation. No, it's not. This is going to continue to move inland. We're not going to have a situation where the storm's going to stall. It's going to move right up into Texas, right up through Arkansas, and then eventually go into Missouri and Tennessee and up toward areas up toward Kentucky. So we don't have that kind of situation right now. I don't know what the last. I need to check. I would like to double check and see what the last drop sound was from the aircraft reconnaissance. Let me check that real quick. Just want to see what the official lowest pressure they were able to find here. So stand by for a second. I'll check that out real quick. Check this out. Let's see here. While they were out there this morning, looks like it did go all the way down to 979 millibars. That was the lowest. That was the lowest one they found when they were out there. So it did finally deepen, but right when it was making landfall, right when it was coming on board, 979. Check this out, guys. This was interesting. So hold on one second. I'll get this updated for you so you can see it. Make sure this is the latest and greatest here. But here you can see the Hurricane Hunter aircraft as it was doing its plots here. Oh, hold on. I gotta reset that again. Hold on one second. That's the old one, 987. That was last night. So let me refresh this real quick. Refresh. There we go. Boy, you can see that very well. I mean, as it was approaching the coast, as they were getting closer, you see where they were zigzagging back and forth. But there it is, right there, 979 millibars. It's right when it's not making landfall, right before it made landfall. The coast is sitting right here, so it got all the way down to 979. Yeah, it dropped off pretty good. If this thing had been over water just a few hours longer, man, it could have been a lot worse than what we're seeing right now. It really dropped off. 979 millibars. So when we went to bed last night, it was at 986. That was at midnight. So from midnight up until 5 o'clock in the morning, right before it was coming on shore, in that 5-hour period, went from 96 millibars down to 979. So it dropped 7 millibars, which is pretty significant in a short amount of period. Like I said, it just ran out of real estate, ran out of that water, man. Yeah, Tillery, you were definitely right about that. That's a big wow. Good morning. Hey, where are you watching, Tillery? Where are you watching from? I may have missed that. Getting a really good band coming in the Houston area right now. Houston, Pasadena, Glenera, Bel Air. This is a very gusty winds in here right now. Getting some very strong winds coming through here. Go back over to the velocity mode here and check those wind profiles. You see this is the winds coming out away from the radar. Go down here. You can see these winds offshore. Look at this, 85, 82, 87, 93. I'm kind of working back toward the center. 90, 100 mile per hour winds there, 100 mile per hour winds. So we got some pretty strong winds here. All this is blowing this way, right out of center of circulation, right through here. See, we got a storm report here. Did report a water spout earlier. But this was at 3 o'clock in the morning. So water spouts with these things, not out of the question. House damage and power lines down due to tornado, rating unknown at this time. Yeah, you're not going to get a rating, not until you get a damage crew out there. But we did have a water spout come on. And any one of these bands that are circulating in, as they're coming on in, you might see water spouts. Definitely might see that, especially on the periphery. I remember during Hurricane Ivan, boy, we got raked with that for hours. Just got rated for hours. It was so bad out there. So hey, if you guys are checking out the channel for the first time, my name is Greg, by the way. Welcome to the Weather Nerds YouTube channel. We were doing coverage yesterday up until about midnight. Got up at 5 this morning, got back on about 5:20. or so. So it's been on about 30 minutes. Again, tell me where you guys are from. Tell me where you're watching from. If you would please consider subscribing to the channel, I'd appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up. We got 14 likes this morning. The likes and the subscriptions help the YouTube algorithm. I know there's probably not a lot of people up this early, but there's some folks out there watching the coverage, and I really do appreciate you guys' support for the channel. As we added a few new friends to the channel this morning. But I always like to hear where folks are watching from. That's always very interesting. So let's go back here. I had somebody asking last night if they thought we were going to get anything else beyond this. Hey, Earl, how you doing? I'm up now, windy outside. Where are you watching from, Earl? Where are you coming from? There, I'm assuming you're in the path of this thing and you're in the area. Let us know where you're from, Earl. Yeah, Earl can give us a little live update. I like to get the live updates from you folks on the ground. Go ahead and share that information. But I was being asked last night if I thought we were going to see any more activity once Beryl moves inward. Justice said, good morning from Rockport. Hey, Justice, Texas, good morning. Welcome to the channel. Hope you subscribed and joined us. I think you were one of the ones that joined last night. Good to see you. We got Jerry Vandermeer, Spring, Texas. Thank you very much. Hey, good morning. Thank you for following the coverage this morning. Appreciate it. Al Beautifully Obvious back in the house. Good to see you this morning. Watching from Oregon. You know, I do appreciate you guys checking out the channel this morning. Thank you. Thank you very much. Like I said, we're not going to get the audience we had last night. We were doing really good last night. I mean, even when The Godfather was on, we were rocking. We were doing really well. So it can be done. That was what it showed me there. Now, anyway, let me go back to what I was talking about a minute ago about the whole issue with what we're going to see beyond this system. Just for a quick update here, you see there's a lot of Saharan dust out here right now, out into the tropics. This is Saharan dust. We got very strong tornadoes. This is all dust blowing up through here. It has impacted some of the tropical wave development here, although I am noticing here in the last few runs we're getting some pretty good tropical waves coming off of Africa right now. But the long-range models are not showing anything there. And thank you for the new subscriber there. Oh, well, actually, someone desubscribed there. I'm sorry about that. Pissed somebody off. Sorry about that. Can't satisfy everybody, right? Thought that was a new subscriber. It rolled the other way. It is what it is. But we're going to get a bit of a break here. We're going to get a chance to catch our breath here as this moves in. Let's go ahead and check on the, let's go back in here and check on what the storm chasers are seeing in here. As they're all kind of into this. Boy, there's the, yeah, that's where I think the real center is sitting right about there. All right, although you see this ragged, I guess you call it eye wall there a little bit, kind of surrounding this, very ragged looking. Still got a little bit of water. It's already got the bay right here. That's also still warm, so hasn't fully gone from water yet. And once it does, that's when we'll start seeing the pretty fast weakening take place. So let's see here. Let's see some of these guys. Cameras. Okay, I'm kind of watching to see if these guys see any damage anywhere. He's pulled over. The wind's pretty light there. Not looking too bad. Once this back end of the storm catches up, though, that'll be a big change. It'll change rapidly. Corey, he's still got power. He's out in the Walmart parking lot there in Bay City. Oh, you got some trees down. There's some damage. Some trees down. It looks like that's near a church. Yeah, got a church there. And we got the subscriber back. There you go. There is, looks like I saw some trees down near a church there. Looks like there's no power in that area. Oh, there's some damage. See the damage to the church there. Has some trees down. And we're going to see a lot more images of this. Again, we saw look like 100-mile-per-hour winds coming. Oh, look at all the tree damage there. Look at all the trees down. The power lines down. We're taking down the trees. This is in a church parking lot. Got some damage out there. We're going to see a lot more of that as this thing's moving inland. This is where near it looks like Gainsmore. No, that's not Gainsmore. I'm sorry. Which one was I on here? Hold on a second. Was it? That wasn't Vince. I'm sorry. I think it was over near Bay City. Hold on a second. Let me check here. He's down. I think it was this one, right? Yeah, it was Corey. Huh. I forgot which one I was on. Well, or was it Connor? It was Connor. Okay, it was Connor. Sorry, I had my caffeine this morning. But he's showing damage and stuff down there. So he's in looks like Swanee. showing some damage in there. We're seeing some power lines down, and you're going to see more of that, folks. As the light comes up, we'll see a lot more of that coming on board as this moves inland, especially these areas to the north. Getting near the Houston metro area, Houston's going to see some power outages. They're going to see some stuff for sure. What's really bad is that Houston took a beating from a derecho about 2 months ago, week and a half ago, about 6 weeks ago. And their power grids, I don't even think it's been fully restored. I mean, not really in a healthy way. It won't take much to knock that power down. But look how symmetrical this thing looks. Very nice, round, symmetrical store. Here's the center of our circulation. It's not really, you notice we got a lot more activity on this side of the storm than on this side of the storm. And I can double check that with the Corpus Christi radar here. It lines up pretty well. Yeah. So it's a little bit more, obviously, activity on the right side of the storm. Right side of the storm is always your strongest, so this is going to be the strongest winds. This is where you're going to see your highest storm surge coming through here. And as it makes that turn and twist, that's where those tornadoes are possible. We got tornado watches up until 10 o'clock. Don't worry, that'll get extended out. I'm actually going to see more of that. So see, we got about 20 folks watching this morning. Again, let me know where you guys are watching from. Good to kind of watch y'all. We're averaging about 1:42 per viewer. We get pretty good turnover. People are surfing this morning, watching the coverage. We've got 17 likes. Well, thank you for all the likes this morning. If you could do me a favor for you guys who are watching right now, move off as you're surfing. Just leave me a like real quick and consider subscribing to the channel. It'd be an honor and a pleasure to serve you guys with your weather information, not only for this storm for Beryl, but what's going to be a very, very busy hurricane season. We're going to be very busy this year, although we're going to get a little bit of a break, just a little one. But we're going to see a lot more activity later this year. Well, I got some technical issues I got to work out with my weather wall. We got to get, well, not the wall, my microphone, my mobile microphone stinks. Not very good. Got to try to get another one. So I will do a little research and find me another one. I kind of rushed to get that one in here because I really wanted to use my wall this weekend as the storm was coming on in. So very nice looking storm here. Very symmetrical looking. Just look at that eyeball there. Looks very nice. Did as advertised, and thank you for that new subscriber there. Thank you for coming on board here. Again, look at that center of circulation, and I know I'm away from my microphone, but it's picking me up pretty good. I can see it moving pretty well. Might echo a little bit, so just bear with me. So here's our center of circulation. Baytown, Lee, Houston, all this area here where it's getting the curve. This is the area that's got to be watched for potential tornadoes. As these bands, feeder bands, are coming around and making that turn, that's when your helicity, your spin is at the greatest when it's making the turn here. And Painter Brush, well, thank you, Painter Brush. Appreciate you for joining the channel here this morning. I like to acknowledge that. I get a little indication when that happens. So, any one of these feeder bands that are on the outside, this is where your tornado threat's the greatest. This back area, they had the hurricane warnings down here for a while last night, and I couldn't figure out why they really held on to this. This part of the band might bring in a few of the hurricane force winds, but really everything on the right side. This is where that storm surge is going to be the highest. Haven't checked to see what the high tide is there toward Galveston Bay, but this is pretty significant. This is moving up toward the north here. So we got alert there on the channel. Let's see, is there anything that's in the area? I don't think it is. We're just double checking here. Pull back out here. Out over near Santa Fe, Texas, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Just double checking to make sure we didn't have any new warnings coming out for our hurricane area here. So, lowercase G, Angleton, good to see you here this morning. Welcome on board. Good to see you this morning. I'd like to acknowledge everybody who's watching this morning. And we've added 7 new subscribers this morning. Not bad for a short-term deal. That's not bad at all. It's all about the algorithm. People come in, people come out. So, again, just before you guys leave, just give me a thumbs up. And if you're already subscribed, you're awesome. God bless you. I appreciate you. So our next update, typically they do these as it's making landfall by the hour. Let me double check here something. I'll check something with the National Hurricane Center and just double check here. Sometimes once the storm is on land, they got the radar, they can track it. They'll start doing like hourly updates on the update here, but we'll double check here. Yes, they are. All right, so I can update this. So I can do this. That's pretty cool. They do this hourly. I kind of figured they would. So this is the 6 o'clock 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time, 6 o'clock. So right now the current location is it's moving. It did speed up. It slowed down a little bit yesterday. That's why it came in a little bit. It was moving at 10. Now it's moving at 12. So it's sitting at 28.8 north, 28.8, and looking at 96.0 west. So almost moving due north now. And the top winds are 80 miles per hour. Lowest official pressure at landfall was 979 millibars. 979 millibars. So, oops, let me fix that real quick. That is 5 o'clock Central Daylight Time. I'll go ahead and click the 5 o'clock there. There's your information up above there. We're working on some stuff with, I got a buddy of mine, we're working on the crawl right now to include different things. I've not updated that crawl, by the way. It hasn't changed all that much from yesterday, from last night, but that's the stuff on it. We're gonna automate this so I don't have to worry about having to update it when the new RSS feed comes out. I'm not a coder guy, but we're gonna get that automated, set updates for you, as well as the information down below. We're gonna try to merge our severe weather crawl and our hurricane information kind of be on the same crawl. So that'll be a nice little upgrade that we're trying to do there on the channel for you. But really not bad for this size channel. We're a small channel and almost 200 views this morning on top of the 6,300 we had last night. And the fact we got, hey, Mike the Hog's back. Hey, yeah, he was watching this last night. Mike, what you reporting for us here? Super bad in Lake Jackson, roof is cracking, so we are out in the cars. It's super bad here. No power also. Yeah, I was afraid of that, Mike. You were in that right front area, man, as I was telling you last night. I hope your roof is not too bad, and I hope your water damage isn't too bad. But prayers for you and your family there in that area. I'm surprised you got power enough, or at least the cell towers are working good enough for you to be able to report into us like now. So he's there in Lake City. Let's go take a look at that area. Again, this is from one of our folks walking in. There's Lake Jackson right there. This is where Mike's at right in here. Still getting some pretty good winds still there. Let's take a look at the velocity mode in here as well. Let's see what your winds are doing there, Mike. And again, you're kind of on that transition line where the radar, it looks like 50 mile per hour winds, 49, 50. Not bad right now, but you got this stuff all down to your south. Look at it, 78, 75. This is rotating up your way. So you got some higher winds coming up. You're not done with this just yet. So be careful and be safe there, Mike. Be careful and be safe. Yeah, definitely roof leaking. Yeah, unfortunately. I really hate to see that for you, but prayers for your family, okay? Thank you for watching. And lowercase here, no power in Eglinton, also reporting no power there as well. That is, we knew we're going to see this. It just shows you even a Cat 1 hurt. Can you imagine what the damage would be if this was like the strength it was when it was over the Caribbean as a Cat 5 or a Cat 4? I saw some of the island video of the island there north of Grenada. I think Caracas is the name of the island. And it literally looked like a category 3 or 4 tornado. It wiped out every building on the island. Just unbelievable devastation where the roofs were down, the buildings were crumbled down. We might lose some roofs with this. We may lose some power lines with this, but we're nothing like the devastation they sound down there. So very grateful that this thing did not go crazy when it was coming in. So pressure 28.93 on that buoy right there. That's the lowest one I've seen there. But what's left of the eye is still, the center circulation, sitting over the water here just a little bit. Most of it's inland right now. And over the next hour or so, it'll move inland, and that'll be the end of any kind of it holding its own as the entire center circulation moves on. There's that update there. 80 mile per hour wind moving north at 12 miles per hour. So it's picked up speed a little bit. It slowed down about 10 last night. And you see the track. It'll be up as it gets north of Houston, still looking at 65 mile per hour winds, gusts to 75. That's at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So as this thing moves northward, the right quadrant of the storm is going to go right through Houston, and that's going to cause a lot of problems. If you're not familiar with Houston, I'm sure a lot of you who are watching from Texas know how much concrete's in this area. So we're going to have some low-lying flooding right through that area, through Houston, Pasadena, Pearland. That whole area in there is going to see some significant flooding in here. And the strongest winds will be blowing through there as well. So not a good day for Houston. Look at that pretty storm. It does, I tell you, radar representation for this, minimal hurricane looks pretty nice. It is a pretty healthy looking storm as it finally got its act together right at landfall. See, we got, good morning to everybody watching. We got 15 people on right now, over 200 views this morning. If you're new to the channel, please consider just going to give me a thumbs up if you can. I appreciate that. Helps with the algorithm, allows other folks to kind of come in. You leave, somebody else replaces you. And please consider subscribing to the channel. 25 likes this morning, that's not bad for something we've been doing here for not quite an hour. It's early, a lot of people are asleep right now, but folks will be waking up, getting ready for work, and checking out this hurricane, and I appreciate you guys checking out the coverage this morning. Really do appreciate it. But that is just a nice, healthy looking storm. So in the distance here, just to give you an idea of the distance across the storm, and I'm gonna measure from one side to the other. So we'll take from this side, we'll just cut right across it here. So you're talking about a storm that's about 200 miles across. All right, 200 miles across, which by hurricane standards, by the way, is pretty small. Pretty small. I think, give you an idea for an example, Hurricane Ivan, which hit back in 2004 over near Pensacola, it had a diameter across it about, I think it was like 500 across. It was, twice the size, more than twice the size of this one. It was a very large hurricane. This one's always been a compact one. So let me turn this off again for you. Let's take a look at some of these velocity. I keep wanting to go back and check on these winds here a little bit. Oops, turn that off. Don't mess with me here. The yellows, or at least look like they appear to be shrinking a little bit. Let me loop this a little bit. So you can see the wind spinning around down here. 98, 93, 85. Yeah, that's definitely going to cause some power outages, that's for sure. Up near the Houston area, 31 downtown, that's not too bad. 49, oh, look at that one. Look, 110 just up there. We're going to get one of the gust winds right there. Wow, that's getting really near the Houston area. Let me zoom in here a little bit. I'll turn that off. Right near Sugarland. Looks like near Bel Air, we're getting some winds there showing up on the radar up to 110 miles per hour. Near Rice University, getting some very strong winds blowing up in there. This is the velocity mode on the radars we typically use when we're tracking those tornadoes and stuff. But you can kind of get an idea of what some of these wind gusts are doing as the strongest part of the cells are moving up that way. What's interesting is that this is actually a tropical storm warning area, and we're showing on the radar some of these winds getting up to 100 miles per hour. Of course, 75 miles per hour above, you're going to see that's your beam. Now, granted, that's the beam shooting up, but the radar's right here, so it's not too far off the ground to see that. Definitely issue there. You're rocking 85? Yeah, that wouldn't shock me. Again, some of the radar images I was just showing you there, showing you that radar mic, showing those winds really howling in there. Absolutely. As this bad boy continues to move inland. Yep, and that was the look at the plot there. I'm gonna go back to the air currents part because watch as this thing was plotted. I want to show this. This is pretty interesting. In the sense that, look what this thing did before landfall. It was at 987, then dropped to 985, then 984, 983, and then dropped 4 millibars right before landfall down to 979. I mean, it dropped 8 millibars in a matter of a few hours. So we got very lucky, folks, that this thing didn't get its act together stronger in a shorter fashion. That was just really something to see with the storm. Need to get me a drink. But good morning, everybody. It is now 6:11 Eastern Time, 5:11 Central Daylight Time. Welcome to the Weather Nerds channel. I'm Greg, your morning host here, as we're watching landfall of Hurricane Beryl. It did strengthen to become a hurricane just before landfall, as I was just showing you there. Continue to move to the north at about 12. It's going to be a long day, folks, for folks in East Texas. It's going to do with all these winds. The flooding winds are going to be a problem. We're going to have tornado watches up and warnings with this storm as it's moving inland. Again, here, look at the infrared imagery here. You can see it's just how how strong the storm really pulsed up. Those thunderstorms exploded as it was making. It's still blowing up thunderstorms there near that center of circulation as this thing has moved on inland. It's been a very robust storm. Let me go to my interactive mode on this one real quick. I want to show like the tornado. Let me turn this off real quick so you can kind of see the what those yellow areas. That's all your tornado watches. They go until about 10 o'clock. But don't worry, we're going to see them extended, and they're going to move further north as the storm moves further inland. And we got a flood warning now up also for the areas there around Houston as well. So we got flood warnings in there. Those warnings are going to really expand out as we go through time this morning. Let's go back over to Radar Omega. Let's go check out this real quick. You got any questions, by the way, please don't hesitate to use the chat. And if you're in the Texas area and if you got some information, some things you'd like to report, please do that as well. We had Mike has been reporting stuff where he has been showing some very rough conditions there in his area. He had to get out of his house because his roof started leaking. He's in the Lake Jackson area. Again, so if you got anything you can report, please put it down in the chat. We can share it with your friends and neighbors. This is your channel. And continue to watch the center of circulation. It looks like we're closing it. The center going to go right over Bay City. Looks like that's where the center is going to track right over there. And some pretty rough conditions there. Let's check and see here what Corey's seeing. No power, obviously. Not seeing any lights on anywhere. Hard to see what he. You can see a lot of some debris out in the roads from some of the trees. But obviously, power is going to be out for a few days. Once this goes by, the power crews will get out there and start checking out and seeing what's going on. Good to see the cell phone tower. See, well, I'm surprised some of these barrels leaving up. Looks like they're blowing all over the road. I think they would have secured those. It's like navigating a landmines out there. Look at that. They've seen some of the damage on the side of the roads there. Oh, power line down. Some of the road construction signs just blowing around like Tonka toys. Everybody's kind of looks like there's vents showing some trees down on the road. Yeah, you see that. Yeah, that's going to be a picture we're going to see all over the place right now. And let's see what Brad's seeing. He's still caught up on the heavy rains right now. So it looks like some power off to the left. So it's going to be hit and miss depending on where those strongest winds are and where your power outages are going to be reported here. I see we got a tornado warning. Radar indicated here. Expires in 16 minutes. This is for Central Harris County. Goes till 5:30. Storm capable producing a tornado was located over Kashmir Gardens or over the greater 5th Ward area, moving west at 45. Circulating around at center of circulation. Probably not going to be able to see it very well on the velocity mode. We'll take a look here. Let's try storm relative velocity, see what that looks like there. No, I really can't see it very well. And that's the problem with these storms. You might get a TBS to kind of trigger, but you're not going to see this. Most of the time when you're talking about a hurricane, landfalling hurricane, any of these warnings you're going to get are going to be fairly weak spin-ups. They're going to last a little while, then they'll go away. But they definitely cause some damage to roofs and stuff like that. Mike, heck, I wouldn't be surprised if a tornado went over your house. Who the heck knows? But you never know with these eddies that kind of get spun up into the spiral bands that's rotating through the area there. So we got our first. That's the first. We did have a report of a tornado on the beach with some damage that had damaged the house earlier. So this is like the second tornado report I've seen so far here for today. Up to 26 likes. You guys are doing good. Keep hitting that like button. Helps the channel out. And if you've not subscribed to the channel, please consider it. Just hit that subscribe button, notification bell. I'd like to invite you along here for future updates here on the channel for future storms. Mike's reporting here that he had to pull out of the park of the road into the winds. Carport about to blow away, and it's bad. You stayed during Ike was much wrong. Ike was a much stronger hurricane than this one. So I'm guessing you were thinking, well, if I stayed in Ike, I could stay for this one. One thing I will say about hurricanes, folks, is that they are all unique. They're all different. They all have their own little quirks. No two storms are the same. All of them are a little bit different. This one's not an historic storm based off what it's doing in Texas. It's an historic storm, the fact that how soon it formed out in the Atlantic as a Cat 4, how strong it got as a Cat 5 as it moved through the Caribbean. Obviously, it caused problems in Jamaica, killed some few folks there, killed some folks down into the Grenada, the islands just north of there. So this Beryl, there'll never be another Beryl. Beryl will be retired. You will not hear Beryl again in the rotation of names. So unfortunately, we'll have to see Alberto again, which I'm not a fan of because I was in a tropical storm Alberto that flooded out Albany, Georgia years ago. But that's how it goes. If you guys please do me a favor, and just before you guys head on out, we're averaging about 2 minutes and 28 seconds on the viewership for this morning. So before you head out, just give me a thumbs up there if you've already subscribed. And again, it helps the YouTube algorithm here a little bit. We're not going to get the numbers we had last night because we were rocking and rolling yesterday, man. Started about 4:45 yesterday, went to about midnight last night, and it was a pretty good. I went and got a few hours sleep so I can come back this morning. Although I'm still tired. I got circles under my eyeballs. But it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. I don't mind doing this. It's all about keeping you guys up to date here. One thing I will show, I'm interested if somebody will get some good video on the beaches because the wave heights here, as this was coming on in, was showing upwards of, so it's a pretty good wind heights there, or wave heights, I should say. So, hold on one second. I'll get my interactive mode here so I can do some stuff. As this thing was coming on in, you were showing wave heights 18 to 20 feet swells right through there. So that's 18 to 20. That orange there, that's 18 to 20 foot swells that were coming on shore as this thing was moving on in. So, let me go and get back off there. I just thought that was interesting to kind of show that. Boy, I tell you, the surf's probably very rough down that way. All right, let's go back over to Radar Omega. Let's check and see what these guys are seeing here. I looked at Nate. He's down on the ocean. I don't know why he's broadcasting from there, but looks like his image is frozen. All right. There's Brad's camera. I'd like to see what the chasers are seeing out here. They're all clustered together. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these guys. Aaron, he's looks like the winds have kind of died down where he's at. And Corey, he's also in that lull for the moment. So what's going to happen here, and you're already starting to see it. All right, so it looks like the entire eye is almost completely what you call an eye out of the water. So what's going to happen here over the next couple hours is all this is going to fill in. All this is going to fill in, all the precipitation. And thank you for the new subscriber. Thank you for coming on board here this morning. I do appreciate your support. Let me we'll do a little wave for you here. And but it's going to fill on in this morning. As it does so, we'll see just the heavy rains and the winds kind of spread all the way in. Right now, they're in a quote-unquote eye of the storm, but that's going to fill in. So that's all going to fill in as it continues to move to the north. This tornado warning is just in the suburbs of, obviously, in the Houston here. And that is going to be a bit of a headache for everybody here as this moves online. Let's look at the, this goes for another 10 minutes. This is radar indicated. Most time these tornado warnings, folks, they're very short-lived, okay? They don't last very long. So, still got that tornado warning for another 10 minutes there. And let's check out the infrared on this imagery here. Long way by our. Oh man, look at that thing. Wow. I mean, compared to, I'm telling you, when I went to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, this thing didn't get anywhere looking nearly as good. This thing is looking very nice. Again, let's go back over to the weather wall again. Just going to highlight these very high cells here. I mean, especially on the east side of the storm, which is a little unusual to see that. Typically, it's on the right side you see the highest storms, but the thing really blew up here as this is spreading out. Good symmetrical here. Pretty good rotation. With the center of circulation now moving in here. So this will continue to move up to the north. We're kind of clipping some of the stuff into San Antonio with some of the higher cloud tops, getting up toward College Station, Beaumont. So again, everything on the right side. This is your rain path. This is where your tornado path will be. We were also seeing earlier, looked like we're going to see probably some severe weather late this afternoon and tonight with a pretty good squall line of some of the squalls coming up here with the hurricane as this center circulation moves northward, heads up toward Tyler and Balsier City and kind of moves up that way. So we got a little ways to watch that. And oh, Mike said he had to go. It was getting worse there. Yeah, you're getting the backside winds. I was telling him the worst winds were coming back at him again. Go back out the radar here again. So check out some of these winds. Let's check out some of the winds down there where Mike's been reporting for us here. Got several storm chasers in that area. Yeah, the winds are picking back up again. The Lac Jacks at 69, 73. He had a little bit of a low 80-mile-per-hour wind. So yeah, Mike, I can definitely report to you that the strongest winds on the backside of the hurricane are now coming up your way. That's what you're seeing right now. And you got Brad's not streaming right now, but Vince is going over this way. Oh, that tree's down the road. He can't move again. That's where he was earlier. Be interested to see how much damage we got once the light comes up out there. Definitely been a rough night for a lot of folks, so especially since about 2, 3 in the morning up to right about now. It's been very, very bad. As we're kind of in the teeth of the worst of the storm here, folks watching. 250 views this morning, not bad. Not bad for haven't been on quite an hour yet. Almost an hour. So if you guys are go ahead and give me in the chat if you can tell me where you guys are watching from, and if you're somebody's in the Texas area, if you got anything you can report from your area, please put that down in the chat so you can share it with everybody here as far as what's going on, and I'll acknowledge and say good morning to you. There, we've added 8 new subscribers to the channel this morning on top of the 250 we added yesterday. Very productive day here for the YouTube channel. For those who did just subscribe to the channel, just to let you know, you're automatically enrolled to win a free No Weather Radio. We're going to be giving away 8 No Weather Radios here at a future date once we get to 5,000 subscribers. So a little incentive. We'll give you a little incentive. It's like, well, why should I subscribe to your channel? Well, how about a chance to win a free No Weather Radio? I mean, I know there's a lot of folks out there on the YouTube universe, and I consider it a pleasure and honor to serve you guys and help you out with your weather need. Be one of many voices. I'm sure you're going to do like I do and kind of surf around a little bit. That's what I do pretty regularly. So let's see here if this has been updated yet here. I don't think this won't get updated until a little bit later this morning. Yeah, there you go. So here's, this has been updated. So here I want to point out this real quick. As the storm is making landfall, and I probably will do some more live coverage this afternoon for the severe weather threat a component of the storm as it moves inland. You notice we got that orange area, enhanced area of severe weather there along the Texas and Louisiana border. That's where the highest risk for tornadoes are going to ride. The models were indicating some sort of squall line was going to come through here. So that is going to be that area there. Let me see if this has been updated too. I'm sure it has been. We're just going to update it here. Yep, there it is. So we're talking about a 10% chance of seeing potential for tornadoes in that yellow zone there, right along the Texas-Louisiana border, surrounded by that 5% and then 2% there for severe weather. So that is the next phase of the storm as this thing moves inland. So we're going to have some tornadoes. We're going to have to deal with that here for this afternoon, as well as the flash flooding is the real main threat here across East Texas, but we are going to have that severe weather component with us as well. Some very high gusty winds. I'm sure that's, let me update this one as well. Just check that out. That's pretty reasonable. So that's just your wind path there. So there'll be some gusts and winds, and it'll cause some problems in those areas for today. Timothy, viewing from West Houston. Hey, Timothy, good to see you this morning. Timothy Adams reporting West Houston, where you're getting some pretty heavy winds there now. Off and on, heavy rain and wind. Yeah, you're definitely seeing that in West Houston, that's for sure. Seeing that for sure there west of town. And you can see that you're kind of stuck in the real heavy stuff right now. Mike is in Lake Jackson. He got hit pretty good there, Babsy. Good to see you this morning. Welcome back this morning. He's in West Jackson. The folks there in west of Houston, some of these winds here are still 71, 60, 58, 60, 60 mile per hour winds, 70 mile per hour winds. So just below hurricane strength there west of Houston right now. 63 mile per hour winds. Of course, these are radar estimated. So get that going here real quick. Cypress area. You want to look what Cypress is? Okay, I can take a look at that real quick. Let me see where that's at real quick. I'm not exactly sure all my geography in that area, but we're going to look. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. I love having an app. Cypress, Texas. There we go. Just making sure I'm out here. All right, so you're on the northwest side of Houston. That's over where I was looking there. So up there, Creek City. So yeah, you guys are in the worst of it up that way up near the Jersey Village. Not too far from there, just north of there. There's Cypress right there. So there's Cypress. So what you're seeing right now, wind-wise in that area, looks like 40 mile per hour winds, 38, 40. That's not too bad. So you're getting tropical storm force winds being seen there. But it's going to pick up. That stuff's coming in from the south as that continues to move north. So the highest winds are just to your south down here. But again, as the center moves northward, these higher winds are going to move northward as well. So it will deteriorate there in Cypress here over the next few hours. Yeah, it's been hard to sleep. I couldn't sleep when there's a landfalling storm. I can understand that. Absolutely. Just hang in there. You'll be through it today. By this afternoon, you should be looking much better there. So, again, the center of circulation is now completely now on land. Starting to see this fill in, which is very typical. This whole center is going to start to filling on in as it's made landfall. Let's back this up here. Let's go ahead and take this thing back here 50 frames. Let's watch this thing as it was making landfall here. So I'm gonna load up 50 frames here and back it up here. Let's go back even further. Let's go back 100 frames. Let's see. We'll watch this thing as it comes up. There it goes. So look at the loop here as the storm really look how it's getting its act together. Look at that. Just look at how that thing really got cranking as it was making land. Now it's starting to fill in, but again, going back 100 images here around 3 o'clock in the morning as it was making landfall at around 5, between 5 and 6. I mean, it really got itself organized. Just look how the center really got itself together in the last 2 hours. That was very, very interesting. Got to keep an eye on my phone this morning. Got to keep this on. I run a dental temp agency out of my house, so it's my business phone. People are going back to work today, so I got to monitor that as well here for today. So that is what we got, man. We got the storm has pretty much made landfall. The center of circulation now is sitting just about over Bay City right now. That's where Corey's at. But still some power there. That's good to see. It'll be sporadic. Some areas will have power, some won't. This is at a Walmart shopping center. Always a good place to stop at a Walmart shopping center there. Right there in Bay City. See that center come up there. Come to the north, and yeah, I would say the center is probably right about ready to go over Bay City where that center is. I think that center's sitting right about there. Think about it. There we go. No need to go so long. Keep it at 14. Hey, if you're checking out the channel for the first time this morning, welcome to the channel. My name is Greg. We did about 7 hours of coverage yesterday. I'm a former TV meteorologist, worked in a lot of different markets, freelance and stuff like that. Been in hurricanes, worked at the Weather Channel, got to work with John Hope and Dr. Steve Lyons, learned a lot from those guys when it comes to tropical stuff over the years that I was there. And this is our first major coverage of tropical system in the United States here on the channel. Been a very productive day. If you'd like to be considered and join the Weather Nerds team for any future coverage, please just hit that subscribe button if you could. Please leave a like. When you're a small channel like we are here, you got to need a little help from the viewers, you guys out there. So if you leave a thumbs up, you give a share, you do a subscribe, it helps folks come into the algorithm, watch the channel. Okay, because we average a pretty decent, you get turnover, like right now we're averaging almost 3 minutes, up to 3 minutes now. It's getting a little better. So about 3 minutes on the turnover, and we've had 30 likes this morning, so that's not bad. It's been kind of steadily going up as folks are kind of waking up this morning and checking, want to see what's happened to the storm. Officially making landfall around between 5 and 6 o'clock. The entire center of circulation now is moved inland. And the next part of this needs, one thing we need to look at now, something I have not looked at yet. Let's do this. I totally haven't done it yet because I just wasn't thinking about it until right now. Let's look at these rainfall totals. Got to talk about that. So let's highlight some of this. Look at it. Remember what I was saying, what the models were showing earlier, and how it doesn't translate to what happened. Look at this: 7, 8, 8, 7, 6.5, 7 near Bay City. So pretty heavy, 5 inches of rain. We've got 4.5, almost 5 inches of rain in Houston right now. And this is only going to get worse as this thing spreads inland. See, it's spreading on out. So the heavy rains are going to be the main concern. That's where the main flooding is going to be a problem here. Let me see, let me get this reflected here. So, and just to show you in response to this storm moving northward here, let me show you this. Let's go to the watch warnings here. Let me clear this out. Hold on one second. See that path? You see all that green that's there? All those are up in here. I'm sorry, let me clear this out for you. My bad. Dude. So you can see the watches all the way from Illinois down through Missouri, all the way down through Texas. This entire zone is where your flooding is going to take place because of the track of that storm. So eventually getting into Indiana, Ohio, anywhere around where the core of that storm, what's left of it, moves inland, flooding is going to be a problem. And boy, is it steamy across the south. Like a lot of heat, all that orange there across the south is heat advisories for Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, and Florida. Also, we have the extreme heat. Did y'all hear yesterday that it hit 120 out in Vegas? That was an all-time record high for them. Unreal. That was pretty bad. Let's go back over to Radar Omega again, and just really something to see. This is just amazing. Again, you can see that very well. Got this thing looping again here. Bay City, El Campo, this whole area right in here. We're talking 8+ inches of rain right through here. A lot of heavy rain through here, folks. And this is going to spread inland. The Woodlands, Kinglands, Baytown, areas on the interior, on the inside of this. This is all going to spread this way. So if you haven't had a lot of rain just yet, you're going to see more of it for sure as that moves up toward the north. That's going to be a major problem for the flooding. But we're not talking to Harvey, thank God. If y'all remember Hurricane Harvey a few years back, that thing parked itself over Houston and just dumped 20, 30+ inches of rain. We're not looking at those totals, but I think localized totals over 10 inches, not out of the question. Already seeing that this morning for sure. Go back over here to this. Yeah, that's a good question. How's everybody holding up? Hey, if you guys can go ahead and report in, if you're watching right now, go ahead and report in and let me know how you're doing. Good to say good morning to everybody. As we kind of watching the coverage this morning. Can you guys hold on? I need to get me a drink. I need to get a new one of these. Let me get a new soda real quick. Stand by real quick. Hold on, guys. Sugar at me. All right, I'm back. Had to get me a little soda pop going here. Got to keep the whistle. Commercial break. Yeah, I probably need to make me a little graphic for that. What do y'all think? Something says commercial break. Mad here is reporting it did make landfall as a hurricane. It's still officially a hurricane right now. Went through some rapid intensification right when it was making landfall. Dropped some 7 millibars within about an hour or so. Got real lucky here, folks. This thing ran out of real estate. Really did. Good morning there, Mad Margarita. I could use a margarita right about now. And we're up to 300 views this morning. Appreciate you guys checking out the coverage. So we don't have any more of the tornado warnings out there right yet, but again, we got to watch this out until about 10 o'clock from basically all of Metro Houston. Atlanta's where I live, sorry. We'll do that. If you guys have, if you're someone new and you've not subscribed yet to the channel, please consider hit that subscribe button. And if you can leave me a comment before you leave and give me a thumbs up. We're averaging about 3 minutes on the coverage this morning. People come in, people come out. That's how this works. So it helps the algorithm out if you guys do that little bit of interaction stuff to help me support a little bit. So we've added about eight new people this morning. Not too bad. Getting close to 4,100. But it's been a real nice run on the new subscribers to the channel. Let's see here. I think now that it's made landfall, we won't get any more hurricane updates here on this. So let me check one thing here. I do want to check one thing here to make sure I'm not talking crap about something. Bill. Oh, I need to go to this. I'm sorry, on the wrong thing. Wrong thing. Let's go over here. I'm checking out my latest model here. I'm just kind of checking out. And let's see here, maps. Sign in. Oh, that was the wrong one. All right. So let's go ahead and take a look at the wall here. I'm gonna look at the latest weather model data here. I'm gonna look up the hourly real quick. So let's take a look at this. I think I got the new one in. So let's take a look at this. Let's look at the wind gusts in miles per hour. So I can look at this again. So here's our wind field here. We're sitting right about there, right there this morning. And I'll tell you that on the radar, it looks, the wind estimates are a little higher. So again, here's our winds. This is as of 7 o'clock this morning. That's about right about now. So this is our current look here. There's our center. Here's our wind gusts in here, 70, 72, 63, 48, 58. The radar estimates are a little higher, but of course that's a little bit off the ground, off the surface. The wind's pulling up a little bit more because this thing really blew up as it was moving inland. So I'm going to go ahead and track this forward. Again, Houston's sitting over here, obviously. So as this thing moves up to the north, let's check this out. This is let me make sure this is the latest run. It is the latest run. So let's watch this. Again, watch this thing moves inland. Still at 7 o'clock, you're looking at some hurricane force winds there in the Houston area. These gusty winds are going to move inland. Still mostly tropical storm force winds as we go into this evening. It's at 6 o'clock. So widespread 60 mile per hour winds moving in here across East Texas. And you see the circulation there at 11 o'clock tonight, still sitting at East Texas. So what we're going to have to watch, though, is these squall line here. See that squall line? As it moves through Louisiana, that's what we're going to have to watch here for severe weather. It was also in this area here this afternoon, and this is when I'll probably be back on again. I'll be watching for tornadoes in this zone. So you see the squall line where it makes that turn. That's where that's going to be a problem. So we're going to watch for severe weather in this area here as the center circulation continues to move up to the north and east. It looks like it's going to stay pretty much on a steady course there as it moves up that way. So yeah, probably going to the late afternoon hours, we'll do some more coverage on that. I just wish my wireless microphone's working. I know I got to stand away from the microphone. I sound like I'm talking to you from a from a bottle, but that's okay. It's okay. Do. Where did my light thing go down? Hope I didn't put that down. I closed it. I didn't mean to. I did. Oh well. That's not what I wanted to do. Let me open this back up. Pardon me real quick. I closed something out I didn't mean to do. But I am tired still. 4 hours sleep will do that to you every time. Just kind of check it in here. Excellent. All right. Going to the stream here. Yeah, not going to show it to me, is it? I don't know why it does that. So we'll go here. I can watch them here. That's fine. This is a different way to look at. Can't look at all my data. For those who, if you guys have, I use OBS software. Oh, really? It's picking up fine from the microphone on the table. And thank you for that new subscriber. We're at 4090 right now. I appreciate you guys checking in. Let me put my radar back up. Sorry about that. I was just fooling around with the stuff there. That's good to know. It's good to know it doesn't sound too bad. The microphone's on the table here now, and I do have one that's on an arm. I could rotate it around, but we'll see. I appreciate letting me know that it doesn't sound too terribly bad. I'm not a real fan of this mic because I know I can get a microphone that's a little bit better, and the sound quality will sound better. That's my next upgrade, is to see if I can get a better microphone for in here. Let me do the little subscribe thing here. Let's do that. Subscribe. Hey, there we go. 10 more to go to 4,100. Hey, good morning to everybody here checking in now. I got I don't know why it won't let me take a look at this. Oh, it doesn't do it. YouTube's weird, I tell you. I know part of the problem I'm having is the fact I've integrated Streamlabs into my coverage. And let's go check on some of these chasers in here to see what they're seeing. He's on the open road right now. Brad's not reporting. Let's see what Benson is. He's still stuck behind that tree. Yeah, I think he decided to wait till the light comes up. Can't see a whole lot on these roads, obviously. He should be looking. Ooh. There's a flag. See that wind's gusting there? Some flooding. Some little flooding in there, I think. Hard to tell when it's nighttime. He was in the Walmart parking lot, but they've still got power, which is good. So, Walmart will be open, and a lot of folks will be probably trying to get supplies and stuff. But at least the power is up there in Bay City, which is really interesting because they were seeing some pretty strong wind gusts there earlier. Again, let's look at the velocity mode here and take a look at where the highest winds we're seeing right now. And I'm kind of rotating this through. Let's highlight this. It's going a little bit closer. Oops. So yeah, showing winds just off the surface, about 70 mile per hour winds. Like these are going to be a little elevated. Here's our radar beam over here. So the radar beam is shooting out, and just above the surface is showing 85, 90 mile per hour winds. You can extrapolate that down a little bit to like 50, 60 mile per hour winds at the surface. And you see the winds down here near Freeport. Look at it, 82, 87 mile per hour winds, 94. Yeah, less land friction down here. 96, 89. Just a really something. You can see this. You can see it's kind of just spinning around right there. That center of circulation. Hey, so we got Wazy. Good morning from Wazy's Garage from my backyard. Welcome, welcome there. Watching from the Atlanta. So I'm from your neck of the woods. I'm up near Brazelton. I'm up on the northeast side. And if you've already subscribed to the channel, let me welcome you to the channel. Thank you very much. And if anybody else is watching, please report in. Go into the chat. Let me know where you're watching from. And if you're in the Texas area, if anywhere in the path of the storm, if you got some information you can report, please do so. We had Mike on earlier. He was telling us about some bad conditions. He was in the Lake Jackson area. He was on the right side of that eye, unfortunately. His roof got damaged on his home, and they've had some issues there, unfortunately. But his family decided, you know what, we're going to get in the car. We're going to stay a little bit away from the action. As the roof was leaking, they were afraid it was going to fall in on them, unfortunately. Yeah, it really amazes me how quickly, once the storm makes landfall and is away from the water, how quickly the center really starts to fill in. And we're quickly seeing that right now. We should have another update here from the Hurricane Center as far as the actual position. When it makes landfall, they use the radar to kind of do an hour-by-hour type thing as far as where it's sitting at. So let me check on that real quick. Let me check on that real quick. Lesson learned. Do not fool with that thing. That's at 5. No, not yet. So about another 10 minutes, we'll have another update here. Just checking to see. Sometimes they do it early. Sometimes they do. But probably not with this. They'll just update the coordinates on it. I would say probably they may bring the winds down to 75, at least based off what I'm seeing on the radar. That's the one we're on. I don't see. Refresh. There we go. All right. Now I can see my data again. All right. Focus on your live. There we go. All right. Well, I welcome you guys for watching the channel. We got 20 of y'all out there watching right now. Again, just make sure before you guys leave, just do the thumbs up thing and help the YouTube algorithm out a little bit. So we had landfall of the storm between 5 and 6 o'clock. It started coming on shore. It was going through a robust strengthening, dropping about 7 millibars within about an hour or two as the Hurricane Hunter aircraft was following this thing in. And we do have a landfalling storm, but we're just getting started today, folks. I will probably shut down here sometime this morning to kind of rest up a little bit. Plan on going back live again this afternoon as we go kind of transition from the landfalling hurricane phase over to a severe weather phase. That we're going to have the trop of the tornado threat and the high winds and the flooding issues that's going to come in across East Texas and especially going into the western portions of Louisiana, as we'll be looking at a pretty good squall line kind of coming into that area as we head towards 6 o'clock. So we'll be looking at the severe weather component of this storm a little bit later this afternoon and going into this evening. Oh, man. Definitely didn't get enough sleep. 4 hours ain't enough for me. I'm an 8-hour guy. I like to get 8 hours sleep. But I wanted to get up here while I was making landfall and watch this. See what's looking over here. Galveston Bay here. Can't see much where he's at yet. Gotta wait for the sun to come up. Let's take a look at the bay shots here. This is down toward Galveston Bay. Again, you can kind of see how bad the conditions there. Can't see the seas. I can see a little bit of rough surf. That's over where the you can see no power down there for sure. Very heavy surf. Coming up, the storm surge coming up in there. I'm glad to see that camera still on. So we should see a little bit better this morning once that camera comes up. You can still see some of the heavy surf activity there at South Padre Island. Galveston Bay, can't see much there, obviously. And downtown Houston, you usually can see some lights on there, but it looks like we got some power outages there in Houston as well. So it looks like at least all the cameras are currently still up that I've been using. Again, please like, subscribe, make a comment, help the channel out. So, boy, it's been a rough night. Long night. I sit there talking about myself going on like this. I'm like, man, at least I'm not in the path of this thing. I tell you, that's tough. That is tough. Let's come back over here so you can see me. Hello. So let's check out the rainfall totals again. I got to keep checking on these because, again, it's just happened so quickly. With some of these lands near Perlin. Let's highlight some of these again. 8 inches right there. Boom. Right where that crosshair you see is 8 inches right there. 6.5, 8, 8.5, 8. It's like 8's a magic number. A lot of this area. It's like in that purple area, you're looking at 8 inches of rain. Some offshore here are getting even higher, up to 9. You get out here, you're looking at 10. But some very a lot of heavy rains there. Now, what the good news is that rain will help cool some of these waters that have been running very warm here in the northern Gulf, about 86, 87 degrees. They'll cool some, obviously, when you get this kind of rain to fall over that area. Here in Houston itself, downtown Houston, you see it coming up over the last, see, this is about an hour loop. About a little over an hour loop there. So it is gone from 3.5 inches to over 5 inches in just a little over an hour. So again, the flooding is going to be a big problem today, folks. All along the path of the storm as it goes inland. If you were inland from Texas, going all the way up to Illinois, watch out for that today. And going in for the next 24 hours. Again, there's that swath showing the flash flood watches from Texas all the way up into Arkansas, parts of Oklahoma, Missouri, and Illinois. Anywhere where the core of that storm is approaching through, you're going to see some very heavy rains and flooding rains in those areas. And some of those regions have gotten hit pretty good with some storms over the last few days. Jerry Vandermeer, Spring, Texas winds have increased, power outages have begun. Yep, Spring, Texas. Let's take a look at Spring, Texas, shall we? Let's look at the winds here. Let me see where I'm going here. I think I remember this at Spring. All right, you're north side of Houston. All right, let's make sure I know where I was going. Let's look for Spring here. There's the airport. Yep, there's Spring, Texas right there. Right there. Let's see what the winds are doing there in Spring for you this morning. Doesn't look that bad, at least on the radar right now. 33. See about 30 mile per hour winds. You haven't got the real meat yet there, brother. Not yet. Heaviest winds are still down to the south. These winds that are to the south will continue to read, but we're starting to see some heavy winds really get into Houston itself now. See that yellow in here? Seeing some pretty good winds now getting into Houston. You go down here toward the Houston area. Look at that, 64, 69 mile per hour winds. These are a little off the surface, but again, you're probably getting some pretty gusty winds into Houston itself. Again, Houston, unfortunately, still trying to pick up the pieces from that derecho that blew through there a few weeks ago. So I don't really think it's going to take much wind to knock out power for some folks. That's for sure. So you've got 23 people watching the channel this morning. Please report in and let me know where you're at. No problem there, Jerry. Glad I can help you out. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Paul, on the Trinity Bay in San Leon, our power have been flickering all morning. We have seen the worst of it. We're on the north side of Galveston. Yeah, you probably have. Let's go check out where he's at. He's on the north side of Galveston. We'll check out the winds out here as well. It's good for you guys to kind of report in out like that and let us know what's going on. So still looking at some very strong winds off the surface out there north of Galveston. There's Galveston there near Tiki Island. So you still got some rough stuff there. Don't let down your guard, especially potential tornadoes, because you're still perpendicular to the center of circulation. You got a pretty good band on top of that. Yeah, don't let your guard down there in Trinity Bay, man. DFW Airport rain now is here too. I get some rain there. I think that's associated with something else. That's just some thunderstorms that were in the area over that way. If you're watching over into your Dallas, the Dallas radar here. Yeah, you got some rain over there. Not directly associated with the storm. Well, actually, it's kind of an outer band, I guess. Maybe a kind of a gravity wave. I know there were some storms last night. I just wasn't looking up at the Dallas radar, but yeah. Seeing some rain there. The pseudo effects of the outer band of the storm, you can kind of see this kind of rotating around, kind of pushing out from the center. So yeah, a little indirect impact from the storm. But the main meat's down here, that's for sure. Storm really intensified right before landfall. Yeah, be safe there, Paul. Stay safe down there. You're not done. You're not done yet. You're not done yet. You got some pretty hefty storms there just offshore. Nathan, unfortunately, I can't see. It's still dark where he's at. I can't see his camera to see what's going on there. But we were showing that live shot here, looking down toward the boardwalk. We're just starting to get some sun to slowly start to come up, but you really can't see much. It is so dark. Such heavy rains. Look at the winds gusting there. This is in Galveston right there. Looking down toward the pier where the it's just hard to get a good view there. Very, very difficult. That is Galveston Bay getting hammered right now on the west side of the storm. This is your worst storm. This is where the worst storm surge is going to be, as this is pushing all the wave action right around that center of circulation. That's where the worst that's going to be right now. And thank you to the new subscribers this morning. We added about 250 yesterday. We've added 9 this morning. So again, thank you guys who have subscribed to the channel. If you do subscribe, you're going to be automatically enrolled to win a free NOAA Weather Radio. We got 910 more likes or subscribers, I should say, to be able to give those radios away. And also, when you do get subscribed, you'll look out for your YouTube Shorts feeds. I do a daily update when we're through the hurricane season, watching reports, so like 1 minute segments there. Good thing to get down and dirty on a storm where you don't have to listen to a guy like myself ramble on for 7, 8, 10 minutes on a storm. You can get a quick up-to-date forecast and you can go on and do your business. So those have been pretty successful. I started those back last Friday and they've been pretty well received so far. I see somebody here driving on the road, and thank you for that new subscriber again. Thank you for joining the channel here. We're 9 away from getting to 4,100. It's amazing to see people still out there on that road right there. At least it's not getting overwashed. But that water level, it's hard to tell because it's so dark out there still. It looks like it's almost up to the road where the heavy surf is right now. And thank you for the 2 new subscribers. Again, thank you for joining the channel. I do appreciate that. We'll go little waves for y'all. Yoo-hoo! I use Streamlabs as kind of my integrator here. It lets me know when people subscribe. I can see everybody's chats and stuff. So if sometimes it doesn't alert me, so I have to push it sometimes. I do appreciate that. Only got to get to 4,100. That'd be a nice milestone. There it goes. It showed a little late, so I'm a little ahead of myself. Pam, welcome there, Pam Komika. Good to see you there this morning. Welcome to the channel. So I did one extra one that I shouldn't have done. That's on me. So anybody else who's considering subscribing, hit the subscribe button right now and help my count get me right. Starting to get that light slowly coming up there. It's getting a little bit better to see the roads there. You can see that surf. I'll keep going back to this camera once we get a little more light. I'm glad to see the power hasn't gone down there. But what's interesting is that you can see here the surf is way close to the shore, or to that road. It's usually much further out. Can I check? Hold on, let me add something. Well, I don't know if I want to do this. Sometimes it blows out. Please don't blow out. Please don't blow out. Please don't blow out. Okay, it did not blow up. Good. I was just making sure it didn't blow out on me there. So the surf is sitting right up here. Yesterday it was down here. I mean, it's really moved inland. You can see that quite a bit away there. Oh, got a couple people unsubscribed. That's not fun. Hey, come on, you guys. We've got 400 views this morning. We've added 10 new subscribers to the channel. Now my count's off by 2. That's on me. That's my fault though. We're at about 81.86% of our goal. Let me clear this out. Sorry about that. I gotta clear this out real quick. I'll come back to this camera again as we get a little more light. Let's check on those chasers out there. We haven't done that. We haven't done that in a little bit. Let's just go check, see what the chasers are doing down here. I think they're moving down toward the shore. Let's see what's Aaron's looking at. And he's got some heavy winds there. Some gusty winds blowing through his area. He's getting on the backside of the storm here. Here's Vince. He was stuck behind a tree for a little while. Looks like he's finally getting off. My guess is just they're starting to see the light coming up a little bit so they can see a little bit better. Got to be careful, man. Got to be careful. And thanks to that new subscriber. To kind of get my count caught back up. I appreciate that. Thank you. You're very blessed, very honored here. Let's see, Corey, he's down right now. Yep, Corey's down. He was in Bay City. He was in that Walmart parking lot earlier. Let's see if I can see his stuff yet. He still looks dark. I think his camera's just down. Nothing there for that. And let's see what Connor's seeing here. Oh, that's got some traffic lights there. Seeing a little power there. So we do have some places that have some power. He's making a right turn here. Who we got there? Angie Ramirez. Thank you, Angie. Thank you for joining the channel. Welcome on board this morning. All right. So we're getting at 4092. I appreciate that. Only 8 away from getting to 4100. Now this wind's really starting to come up. Now you can see this camera a whole lot better. It's amazing how quickly the light's coming in. But that surf is really close. I can't see the merry-go-round wheel out there. Can't see it. It's probably behind the heavy rains there. This is the Galveston. That's a live shot from Galveston right there. But you can see how gusty the winds are down there, and it's still very robust in that area. I mean, look at these wind speeds here. 67, 78 miles per hour, 85, 82, 73. It's a little bit off the surface, but again, gives you an indication of how strong the winds are in that area. Very substantial there in the Galveston area, getting hit pretty good. Probably a widespread power outages. Now it's, God bless, look at this. Can't see a thing now. A heavy squall just moved in there right when I was highlighting that. Wow, can't see jack. Woo, that's a pretty good squall. That is a good squall coming in there now. 80 mile per hour winds and completely blurring out the camera. Cannot see it at all. That's amazing. Seeing some pretty good hefty stuff here, guys. And this will continue to work its way up into Houston. Houston, they got the flash flood watches that are up. That's going to continue here. I think we got our 7 o'clock update here, so I probably need to update my track real quick. Let me do that real quick. Yep, there's the 6 o'clock central. We'll go ahead and update that real quick. So here is your new update here. So we're sitting at 29.0 north. 29.0 north is the latest coordinates here. Just updating this. 95.9. So it's starting to a little bit further to the east now. Starting a little wobble there because eventually it's going to turn to the northeast. Pressure still showing 979 millibars and 80 mile per hour winds. So it hasn't weakened yet. Still holding on to that hurricane status here on Beryl, as it had rapid intensification right when it was making landfall. Dropped 7 millibars within about an hour or so, a little over an hour. We got very lucky that this thing did not get organized a little bit earlier. If it had gotten organized 6 or 7 hours earlier, further out to sea, we may have been looking at, instead of 80-mile-per-hour hurricane, maybe 100-mile-per-hour hurricane. And that you go up there go from a Cat 1 to a Cat 2, obviously the damage can be a little more severe. I think the power outages are going to be moderate, I think. In fact, let's go ahead and do that. I have not looked at that this morning. I totally forgot to do it. And Radar Mega's got a nice little tool here for power outages. So let's turn on the state power outages here and get an idea what the power outages are here. So let me get that set up. So right now in Texas is reporting 487,000 customers are out without power. That's about 3.5% of the area. We can switch this over to the counties. Let's take a look at the counties on this. I'll turn that off. Turn on the counties here. So I'm not, well, hold on. I'm going to have to turn off. Hold on one second. Let me turn these off real quick. I got to turn off these other advisors real quick to do it. So hold on one second. Not that. Always forget which one is the warnings. So that's my fault. Sorry about that one. I'm kind of looking here. I totally forgot where it was at. My brain. There we are. I'm going to turn these off real quick just for a second. Turn all these off so I can take a look at the power outages. Okay, so here we go. So we got 34, Brazoria County's got 34,000 outages, 12 in Matagorda County. This has got 5,000. That one's not reporting. 98 there in Harris County. Galveston showing 23,000. So not too bad on the power outages so far. But that number will increase here as we go through the next few hours. All right, so let me go ahead and turn that back off again. Turn that back off again. Keep my warnings on. Let's put those warnings on. Just keeping the warning stuff on for right now. So again, welcome you guys to the channel here this morning. Now let me know where you guys are watching from. My name's Greg, by the way. Welcome to the Nerds channel. We've been on since about 5:20 or so this morning. It's around the time the storm was making landfall. I was having a little bit of YouTube problems trying to get back on here again. We got a lot of new subscribers to the channel. If you do me a favor before you guys leave, because the average turnover here is every 3 minutes or so, please give me a thumbs up. Helps with the algorithm. And if you consider subscribing to the channel, it'll be an honor, be a pleasure to have you on board here for not only this coverage, but obviously for future dates as well. Obviously, there's a lot of YouTubers out there like myself. I was a broadcast meteorologist, did that for a number of years, and a retired Army officer. And now I'm just a baby YouTuber trying to give you guys some good weather coverage here on our first hurricane of the season to hit the continental United States. One of, unfortunately, could be several for this year. It's going to be an active season, really is. Let's just hope we don't get any really devastating. This is a Cat 1 hurricane, so we're not talking about a major one right now. Nothing like they had down toward the Bahamas earlier. Hey, Janelle, good morning to you. Good to see you there. Janelle back with us. They were on with us last night. Had a lot of good discussions last night with you guys. But Galveston, boy, look at that. Woo! Just getting pounded with some very heavy rains and some of the heavy surf there along the beach. Can't really see much, that's for sure. It's amazing. I was looking at this camera yesterday, or day before yesterday. It was really looking something. Hey, there's Mad Margarita coming from West Virginia. Good morning. Good morning to there from folks in West Virginia. So, but we were watching this, and people were just casually enjoying the rest of their holiday and 4th of July weekend and stuff like that. They're out there just doing their own thing. But big difference today, that's for sure. These things don't last very long. This one's working. I see this one's working, but I don't know how long it'll last. Yeah, God bless. I'm sorry about the microphone problem. This one's not going to stay charged. That's my main plug-in mic there. I've never had a problem with it before. Checking my audio here. Disabled. Enabled. Apply. Go. Wow, I thought muted. It's just not coming on. I don't have it muted, do I? Yeah, it just went red for some reason. Yeah, I'm grand. This is not going to hold. This is going to go off. This is not going to work. Oh, that does not hold. These other mics don't hold power. That's too late. Let's see if that worked at all. Nope. I just lost my camera now too. Oh Lord, man, that's terrible. That is terrible. Well, all right. I think I got the mic. I had to do unplugging there. I'm not sure what happened, folks. Sorry about that. That's aggravating. It just came out of the blue. It stopped working. Yeah, the wireless ones are going back. I'm not keeping those. Yeah, send those back. I am definitely sending them back. I'm not keeping those. Not keeping those at all. And we're starting to get some light out there so we can see what these guys are seeing out there as far as any kind of damage. Connor's back toward town a little bit. It's like some power outages in that area. You can kind of look and see, looking at the normal interstate lights, you can usually tell if they're out. Ooh-wee. Quiet on the western front. Alrighty. All right, so here's what I'm going to do, guys. Here, obviously, I'm having some technical problems this morning. I'm going to go ahead and shut down here for this morning as we've had this landfalling storm. Look for me to come back up later this afternoon. I'm going to come back on later this afternoon when we kind of switch into severe weather mode, and we're going to get ready to track for the severe weather here. Again, watch out for the flooding, folks. That's going to be a big problem here on stuff. I'm going to do a complete reboot of my system, do some update. My system was talking about updates for my computer, which I snoozed. It's probably one of the reasons why I got to do that. So we'll do some severe weather coverage for later this afternoon as we watch this thing go inland. Again, we had our landfall at about 5 o'clock this morning. We've been on for a couple hours. And so I'm going to get some rest and be ready to go for this afternoon for the stuff. Again, watch out for the flooding, folks. That's going to be a major problem as this stuff goes inland. Again, look at these rainfall totals, and they've just been going up and up and up and up and up. And now Houston's starting to really get the heaviest of the rainfall in here now as this stuff's moving on in. So flooding is going to be a major problem all along the path of the storm as it continues to move up toward the north. So I'm going to go ahead and shut down for now. I'll do a reset here, and I'll see if I can figure out if I can get my wireless microphones to even work a little bit there. So you guys take it easy, and we'll see you again later this afternoon. We'll watch for that severe weather.